And recording in progress. That's always what I need to hear. I want to welcome you all. This is Lynn, your lead instructor here at Samson, bringing you another tantalizing episode of Business Skill Builders. Now, just a quick reminder, I have three major classes that I do every week for all of our agents. The first one is Monday at 10:30. It is called Boost. It is to help you get a boost for the week, get your blinders on, look at your calendar, and I ask you key questions and map you through what needs to be going on your calendar for the 1 week ahead. So that is Monday at 10:30. I hope that you all join me and join me on a regular basis. I say put it on your calendar, set it to repeat. And then if you have a tendency to let time slip away, set yourself an alarm on your phone to go off 5 minutes before class. That will remind you to get prepped, get ready, and get in and be ready to go. All right, so the other two classes that I bring to you every week is the 1 o'clock on Thursday, which is this one. This is what we call our business skill builders. And if you've been through my Jumpstart, you know that the analogy that I use is always to put the pieces of the puzzle together in order. And that is what we're trying to do with these classes, is to put them together in order, methodically, for you, step by step, so you have the best, most effective, most efficient, and calming business that you can have. All right, the 2:30 class that I do on Thursdays as well is called Marketing Mastery. Again, reflecting back to our Jumpstart session 4, where we talk about the 26 options for marketing your real estate business. And you may be sitting there going, 26? I didn't know there was 26. Most agents don't. So in Jumpstart session 4, we talk about the four, as I say, the 24, 25, 26. I just added a couple. Marketing options that you as a real estate agent have. And then our Thursday 2:30 class, Marketing Mastery, is we take a different topic each week and just take a head first dive right into it. So hopefully you have those plugged in on your calendar, set to repeat if you're using a digital calendar, and then making sure that you set an alarm on your phone to go off about 5 minutes before class. That way you can get prepped and get ready and be here on time. So with that, my friends, let's buckle up, pull yourself up to the desk, and hopefully you have beverage of choice at hand. Shoes are optional, but definitely you want to have something to write and take notes on. So today's class for business skill builders, we're going to be talking about being done by noon. How to work on your business, not in your business. We cover that in Jumpstart session 4 as well. But how to work on your business for 4 hours a day and be done by noon. Now, if you're not an early morning riser, it may be from 9 to 1, but this maps it down from early on and out. So I'm going to give you the bullet points, the talking points, and it allows you to adjust the time slots for those as well. Now, there are some agents that I know their afternoon is when they work on their business. I know other ones that only work on their business in the mornings, and then all of their in-field person-to-person meetings and contacts are done in the afternoon and into early evening when they get scheduled. So with that, done by noon, let's take a look at what the suggestions are. Now, I always like to play a little game, and I run some information about other names that this class could be called. So I'm going to read them off my list. Busy isn't profitable. So being busy is not always profitable. Discipline creates freedom. Your calendar reflects your priorities. Another name we could have called this class is Top Agents Work Intentionally. And again, that's intentional, consistent are all strong words. Another fun name that we could have called this class is You Don't Need More Hours, You Need More Focus. So with that, whichever title happens to jump out and hit your hot buttons, There you go. There's some titles for them. So real estate agents often think if they're busy, they're being productive. And it's really not. It is a misconception that, oh, I'm just so busy. I'm just so busy. I'm just so busy. But you haven't had business in a while or a transaction in a business in a while. So my question there would be busy doing what? And that's where a lot of agents stop dead in their tracks and go, um. So here is a breakdown. This example starts at 7 a.m. You can adjust that time anywhere you want, anyhow you want. But here's the takeaway of it. All right, so the first 30 minutes of your day is prepare your mind. It talks about taking a look at what your goals are, review your goals, whether they're written down, whether they're on a goal board, whether they're, the screensaver on your computer, but you need to kind of tap back in to what are your goals. The next step is to check your calendar. What is on for committed appointments for that day? You also need to take a moment to read your affirmations or your mindset material. And again, that could be inspiration, that could be prayer and meditation, it could be listening to something, it could be reading something. But if you've been listening to the news in the morning, you definitely need to change the channel on your brain. Okay. It's also recommended for the first 30 minutes there, you avoid social media because we all know that once we start on social media, it sucks us down this drain. And next thing we know, it's 3 hours later and we have no idea where the morning or the afternoon just went. Another key component in your morning first batch routine is coffee and clarity time. Now, coffee could be your juice, it could be your vitamin water, it could be a smoothie, it could be coffee, whatever. But it's also your time in that first 30-minute block to get these things done, but also be crystal clear on what you want your day to look like. Start intentionally with a plan and not reactively. Because if you immediately go into emails, you're going to find it's going to take you off on a whole different path. So take the first 30 minutes to get your head on, game on, ready to go, planned out. Okay? Your next 30-minute time block, and again, in this reference, it's taking you from 7:30 to 8, if you are to review any leads that you have and what is the game plan for reaching out and touching and following up with them. Do you just need to send them an email? Do you need to send them a quick message? Do you need to send them a text message? Is it a phone call? Whatever it is, know and identify and tackle that. Review any of your hot leads. Who's your top 5? We used to always be taught that we should always know who our top 5 or 10 next client is potentially going to be to make sure that we're staying in touch with them as well. You're going to prioritize your follow-up. So let's say you've got 10 on your list that they're hot leads. You want to prioritize them. Who do you need to call first? If you know someone's already at work and you can't get a hold of them, you can leave them a message, but have a priority. So once you start the checklist, once you start checking off, you just keep on going. It becomes this downhill slope of momentum that gets going. You want to review any of your active clients, a status report. I always made it a plan that I contacted my clients always on a Monday and a Friday. Now, obviously, if there was information that came up during the week, I absolutely, because I wanted to keep them absolutely in the loop and informed as well. Even if it was a text message, even I knew that they were at work. If I knew that they were at work and weren't able to take calls at work, I would set up with them that when I call, don't feel you got to run out at break and answer my call. I'm just updating you on whatever the next step is, just keeping you in the loop. But if it's important, obviously I will let you know. All right. So review your clients. Where are you at? What day are you on within your real estate transaction? Now, a cool tip that I learned that I started doing, which definitely kind of made life a little bit easier. I would go to my calendar, and the minute we started the transaction with day one, I would put their last name, day one. Next day, their last name, day two. Last name, day three. Next day, last name, day four. So I could look at my calendar and I knew in a nano of a second whether I was on day four, day 12, day nine, day whatever on any of my active transactions in a heartbeat. Because you know, based off the contract, when certain things have to be done. I found that to be extremely helpful because it is way too easy to lose track of time. And if it's not on your calendar where you can visually see it and serves as a reminder, it is way too easy for things to slide through a crack, miss a date, miss a deadline, then you're in trouble. All right. In that kind of, check in with everything, you want to also set aside or identify what are your top three priorities for the day that come heck or high water need to get done. Again, we are visual people, either on your calendar, being it digital, being on a paper calendar, notepad, whatever. 1, 2, 3, have a little box so you can check it off and have what it is. When you are setting priorities and when you're setting kind of and your planning mode, which is why we do Monday and covered on Monday, what do you need to do? But then when are you going to do it? What do you need to do? When are you going to do it? What do you need to do? When are you going to do it? And when those things are blocked off on your calendar, it changes your whole mental wear and tear and stress and strain. You know that coming up at, I'm just making up the time, tomorrow at 11, you're going to take 30 minutes to work on your boom, whatever it is. It allows you to be focused, prepared, and attack and get it done, and get it done usually in less time than you thought it was going to. All right. Then you ask yourself, what activity today is actually going to help create income? Because you know what? You don't work busy all week and get a paycheck on Friday. So ask yourself, what activity today will actually create income? Now, this kind of goes back to the marketing department of your business. Jumpstart session 4, we talk about your 4 tires on your car of the marketing department. Database is always one. What are the other 2 or 3 that you're going to add in? Remember, we give you all 26. But then what is the activity this week or today that is going to help support that? Now, this is how I break it down. For those that are new, this will be hopefully an aha. For those that have been with me before or have been through Jumpstart, this may serve as a reminder. When I looked at my calendar, the first week of every month was always focused on my database. That I made sure my newsletters got out. If I had birthdays or anniversaries or any specialty card I wanted to write, I would knock it out the first week of the month. I would block myself off 1 hour somewhere beginning of the week or the end of the previous month. And so all my stuff for the month ahead was prepped and ready. Now, when I did the cards, I would write them out. I would hand address them, even if it was 2 of them, 5 of them, 10 of them, 20 of them. I'd have them prepped and ready. And where the stamp went, I would put the date that I wanted to mail it. And I had them sitting in a crystal napkin holder on my desk, and I could just look up and I could see the date. If it was the date, then I'd pull it, stamp it, now to the post office it went, done. Second week of the month, I focused on whatever my second marketing pillar was going to be. So let's say you are wanting to do for sale by owners. That's a whole technique I've taught as well. Then you focus, you have it on your calendar. You know that that is your focus of the week. You stay intentional, laser focused, Anything to do with your for sale by owner process gets done the second week. Third week, third pillar. Fourth week, fourth pillar. Now, yes, occasionally, things are going to drip into the others. Actually, for a while, I had a file folder on my desk, and it was like week one, database, week two, for sale by owners, week three, open houses, week four, first time home buyer workshops. So if I thought of something when I was focusing on something else, instead of becoming distracted, we're all a little ADD, and jumping over, I would just write a note or a sticky note and I would drop it in that folder. That way I knew I wasn't going to forget it, but I didn't need to remember it or act on it right now because I had a priority of something else. So then same thing with, articles. If I came across an article or something, I thought, ooh, that information would be good for this, I drop it in the folder. So on the Monday, I would pull my week one folder. Was there anything that in the database that I had tagged in there to remember? Handle it, done, move on. Next week, pillar number two, second week of the month, I pull my file number two. Let's say it was for sale by owner, and I would then focus on what needed to be done in that category. So whether it was creating a new free report, whether it was sending out a follow-up email to someone I had already stopped in and met, I had the system, and it was easily able to get done in the first thing in the morning. Okay, so let's move on. The next time slot, it gives you from 8 to 12, 8 to 10. That's a 2-hour time block. It's often called prospecting or lead generation. And for some reason, most agents just kind of, they'd rather go, I don't know, play on the freeway than lead generation or prospecting. So I asked my little friend, ChatGPT, to give me some other names of that time block that we could use that would be more inspirational, more positive than that. And here's one that it came back with is, and I love this one, reminding friends, I'm still in business. So if you are getting caught up and hung up on, prospecting lead generation, you just soon, go scrape your fingernails down the chalkboard. Think of it as this is my time to remind my friends that I'm still in business. Dun, 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 because really, that's what it's all about. It's reminding those that you know that you are still in business, because I got a news flash for you. Everyone has known someone that at one point in time has been in business. Stats show, and I've monitored these numbers for 20 years and they're still about the same. 85 to 93% of interviewed past clients have reported they would do business with that agent again, wait for it, if they ever heard from them again. So that tells us that we're not reminding those that we know that we're still in business. So think of it that way. Instead of prospecting or lead generation, you just need to remind them you're still in business. People don't need a real estate agent every day. They need to remember one. So when the day comes that their home no longer meets their needs, they know who to think about, and hopefully that would be you. Your job isn't convincing people to move. Your job is to make sure when they think of real estate, they think of you. So take that one to the bank. And I teach that basic concept in so many of the classes because that's the bottom line. They don't think of you every day. They don't need an agent every day, but when the day comes that they do, hopefully you are top of mind because you have done a good job in gently tapping them You're still in business. And how is that done? The newsletter, the first of the month. Tap, tap, tap. I'm still in business. You're not necessarily saying that, but that is the message that conveys when they receive that newsletter. You stop doing that, they assume that you, like others that they've known, has gone out of business and another one bites the dust. All right, mid-month. I always made sure around the middle of the month I sent out another, either a free report or a blog post or something. Again, newsletter went out the first, the second reminder went out the middle of the month with a free report or a blog post. There you go. They got reminded gently twice a month that I was still in business. And 99.9% of the time, I never said, "So, you ready to buy or sell?" Who do you know that's ready to buy or sell? Because that didn't resonate with me. But I could remind them that, hey, I'm still here for you when that day comes. And I did. All right. Excuse me. Let's take another look at some other components of how you can reach out to your friends and family, your SOI, and reminding them that you are still in business. This is where the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I reference that till I'm blue in the face. That is the best tracking for any of us and all of us. Here's where you can get a copy of that form, which I have one here on my desk, but okay, here it is here. There you go. All right, so the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you can download it from, you can go directly to Cardinal Nest. And in the search box above your name, type in daily tasks or 54321, and it will populate up. Option 1, there you go. Option 2 to retrieve it is out of my website. Again, I have customized my website to be you, our agent's go-to source. In hopeful inspiration that you will see, wait a minute, if this little non-techie gal can do all this cool stuff on her website, what can I learn to do to mine so that my website becomes the go-to source for my sphere, those that I know, people that may want to buy or sell. They can go comfortably to my website 24/7 and retrieve information. So back to my site. It's just like yours, first name, last name. Well, mine isn't the same as yours because you're not Lynn Hamilton and I don't go under your name. So, but you get my point. All right. So lynnhamilton.samsonproperties.net. On there, you will see a tab that says Agent Resource Center. Da, 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 da. That has been done for you, our Samson agents. And on the drop down box, you'll see there's, I think, 6 tabs or 6 categories that drop down. The first one is bonus handouts. That is where you can find the daily tasks, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 worksheet. There it be. All right, so let's talk about this real quick. What is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Those are the things that you should be doing every day that you are working. Now, if you work 5 days a week, awesome. If you work 6, great. If you work 7, no. You need to breathe. You need to step back every once in a while. But on the days that you are working your real estate business and working on your business, here they are. It is 5 contacts to past or present or future potential clients. It is 4 text messages. It is 3 emails. It is 2 market snapshots and adding 1 new person to your database. Now, let's say it's the first of the month or the second week of the month, and you've got 5 days a week that you need to reach out to someone. And it's like, well, what do I say? Well, if you just emailed or sent them by mail or email the newsletter, there's your point of contact. Hey, Susan, it's Lynn, your favorite realtor. I just wanted to make sure that you received the newsletter. I emailed them out. I want to make sure it didn't fall into your junk or spam. There was an article in there, and I thought of you when I saw it. I hope you enjoyed this edition. Chat with you soon. Gotta run by. Click. That is one. You can send them a text message. This is, hey, just wanted to let you know, your email, your monthly newsletter should be in your inbox. Go check it out. There was a couple of really nice articles in there, or there was a recipe in this one. OMG, can't wait to try it myself. Again, it's that gentle little reminder that you are still in business and thinking of them. Emails, market snapshots. Now, when it comes to the market snapshot, we've done intense classes on whether you call it a market snapshot, annual review, a CMA, the Fruit Bowl, the present from Bold Trails. You've got 5 or 6 different tools available. I don't care which one you use. It is a touch point and it is a potential talking point. All right. So if you need to learn about that component, that's in our learning trails for you to follow as well. And then adding one new to your contacts into your database. Now, if you've taken Jumpstart Session 3, you know that there are 4 categories within your database. Your sphere, your SOI is only one option. You have the other 3 categories that you need to be nurturing and filling out and adding to and building out as well. And in the Jumpstart Session 3, I teach you the good, better, best of building out and nurturing that database. So that is your gold mine, not just the people that you know, but even other businesses, other agents even. There you go. All right. During that 2-hour time block or hour time block of reminding people that you are still in business. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is absolutely a good one. Another great thing you can do is to schedule 1 a week, 2 a week. I don't care. I know people who used to do them when they first kind of got going, wanted to get their momentum going. They did 5 to 10 a week. A quick coffee with a friend that was 1 or 2 a day. They got through their entire large database relatively quickly, and it allowed them to remind their friends that they were in the real estate business and what they had to offer for them. And that was access to the website for reports, website for the blog. Again, it's just a touch point. And there you go. Now, with the new annual review that we have available that we've been teaching as well, that is another phenomenal touch point as well. I'm not talking a 2-hour meeting, gang. I'm talking 15 to 20 minutes. Quick coffee, quick soda, quick wine at happy hour. I don't know. But it's just one more touch point reminding them that you are still in business and that you've got information that will help them when that day comes that the home no longer meets their needs and they need to contemplate or consider a move. There you go. All right. So that falls into that category as well. You want to make sure you got your follow-up time there as well, kind of in that, again, we said 8 to 10, focus on your marketing, reminding people that you are still in business. 10 to 10:30 is the follow-up blitz, which is returning calls, responding to emails, sending property information out, confirming appointments, and those quick touch points, yes, can be done in 30 minutes or less. Now, we have been doing the inbox intervention. One of the fun things that we've added to our summer school projects is to get our inboxes cleaned up because, oh my word, I've seen a few of yours and they are, yeah, they're all that in a bag of chips. So remember that you have the ability to also, when you confirm an appointment, one of the tools that you have is from Core, or it's called Present. It's part of the Bold Trails platform. And again, I've been doing some, reminders and training for our agents. No, that is an option because you want to confirm that appointment. And here's a brief introduction before you show up. So again, returning calls and emails. Oh, I remember what I was going to share about the emails. A good general rule of thumb on emails is if you can quickly respond to it and take care of it within about 2 minutes, knock it out, do it on the spot. If it's something that's going to take additional research and follow up later, flag it as important. And there's nothing wrong with responding to the email that's to the person that says, "Hey, I got your email. I'm running out the door for an appointment. Just wanted to let you know I did see the email. I will be getting back with you later this evening or by tomorrow morning or whatever it is that is appropriate for the situation to respond to." But at least it lets them know they saw your email, their email, and that they're not sitting there going, "Well, do I need to email her again? Is he even going to see it? Has he seen it?" So again, that's a great general rule of thumb and protocol. Okay. All right. Let's move on down. 10:30 to 11:15. This is where your marketing can really take hold. It will rotate daily if you're going to record a quick video, post on social media, um, anything for your blog, anything for your website. Those are all great things to tackle in the next 30 minutes that are on your schedule. The next time block down goes into client service and transaction management. Again, it kind of ties into reviewing what is on your plate in terms of contracts and clients. Where are you at? What needs to be done? Do you need to remind someone that day after tomorrow is this date and this needs to be done by then? Again, that little time block is going to keep you on track. And then once that rolls you up to noon, at noon, basically, you're essentially done working on your business. And I'm going to do a recap real quick for you. The afternoon then opens up for showings, appointments, networking, family time, personal time, overflow work tasks, time off, whatever that is your afternoon. Because as a real estate agent, we also know that your clients are often working a job, which is how they can afford to buy, and they're at work until 5 or 6 as well. So sometimes we do have a lag in the afternoon, but then we have to go back and do a few hours in the evening. One of the other little key components is know when your ebb and flow of your own time body clock is. If you are not a morning person, no way, shape, or form, these same time blocks can be shifted down to the afternoon when you are at your peak. So just be aware of your they have a fancy name for it, but know when your ebb and flow is of your highs and your lows, and then adjust accordingly if you need to. Okay, so here is a couple of rules or common mistakes that often get made. So rule number 1 is no emails first thing. The minute you open your email box, it's going to suck you down a rabbit hole and take you off into left center field. You want to be very careful with that. Rule number 2, lead generation or reminding people that you're still in business before administrative tasks. Busy does not always equal production and productivity. Rule number 3, time block everything. Time block off these categories. And yes, when I post this recording up on my web page, on Agent Resource Center, the Listen and Learn, I will have a place for this handout to get posted there as well. So rule number 3 is, again, time block everything. If it's not on the schedule, it usually doesn't get done or happen. Rule number 4, focus on income producing activities. Ask yourself, does this activity make me money or just make me feel busy? Now, sometimes we do need busy work. Occasionally I hear an agent say that they're, like mine right now, the desk has got its piles on it. Okay, so sometimes we do need to block off 30 minutes of busy work to get it straightened out, organized, and cleaned up. So then we can be more productive, more effective, more efficient. There you go. And rule number 5 is protect your energy. I just mentioned that we have an ebb and flow to our body clocks. We want to make sure that you know when your high energy time is and when your low energy time is, and schedule your life and your days accordingly. So here's some takeaways. You do not need to be working a 12-hour workday. You do not, and you need to protect yourself from burnout and from chaos. What you do need is some structure, priorities, systems, and then consistency. So, with that, as we wind it down, let me just go back real quick and give you the categories if you need to jot them down so you can structure your business just a little bit better. All right. So, first off is prepare your mind. Second time block is to review your leads and your game plan. The next time block, they call it the power hour, or reminding friends that you are still in business. The next time block down is follow up on calls, on emails with transaction partners, confirm appointments. The next time block is marketing. Are you making sure that you are putting the needed effort into your marketing of your business as well? And that, let me turn my page over. There we go. And last but not least is client service and transaction management. And then after that is your flexible time. What do you need to get done? If you need to run errands, that's a great time to do it because most of the working force is at work and you get a lot more done faster in the middle of the day. Do you have calls to make for personal appointments? Get that done. Family time, overflow tasks. If you want to work on a bigger project like your buyer or your seller consultation, make sure you've got time blocked off to go do that. So those are the general rules of thumb to give you a more effective, more productive day, get everything that needs to be done in a shorter amount of time. And there is something addicting to having your little to-do list and you just crank them off and get them done and check them off. So hopefully this has helped. Hopefully this has given you some aha, some takeaway to help structure your day a little bit better. As I say, this is being recorded, so I'm going to download it and drop it onto my website on lynnhamilton.samsonproperties.net. Agent Resource Center, drop down box to listen and learn. That's where our Thursday sessions are at. So hopefully with that has been helpful. Be sure if you do follow any of those, listen and learn, that you subscribe. That way you get binged when the next one gets uploaded. And in the same token, make sure you give it a thumbs up and or a nice comment. Tell your friends or your coworkers that they missed out on a good class and encourage them to go listen, but encourage them to join us live every Thursday and on Mondays as well. So with that, my friends, remember, I don't care what you know. I want to know what you're doing with what you know. With that, class dismissed. I will see you in our next session real soon. I'm going to end our recording and then take any questions that you have. So thanks for joining us.